The whole city, was in shock from the murder of Martin Luther King. But there was no surprise that there was a reaction like that. And nobody really felt that it was unjustified. I guess that's where you go into the division between the white and the black Washington again. Washington was and is a segregated city, a very segregated city. And when you have two cultures, particularly one culture that's not being respected, you have to expect things like that.
It was a time of rage, fear. Emotions were just all over the place. It was something that had to come out. It was something that had to boil over because the hurts and all the suffering that we have gone through, it was just something that the rage came out on material things rather than people. Then when you saw the troops coming in and were surrounding your house, and when you went to church, the troops were all over the place. You were just frightened to death. You felt like you were in an armed camp, and you didn't know what was going to happen, whether they were going to shoot you on sight or not. It brought up so many fears of people in this city.
Certain evidence that the riots did scare a lot of people in power. First of all, there was a response of conscience. I think a lot of people in this country, white and black, were genuinely shocked by what happened. Where something bad happens and people come together and they say, well, God, we've really got to do something. Second of all, there was a response of fear. After all, we're talking about a Congress that had been largely dominated by Southern segregationists. My assumption has always been that we got home rule, in no small part because of the riots.
No society can tolerate massive violence any more than a body can tolerate massive disease. And we in America shall not tolerate it. But just saying that does not solve the problem. We need to know the answer, I think, to three basic questions about these riots. What happened? Why did it happen? What can be done to prevent it from happening again and again?
The President appointed an advisory commission to investigate. On March 1st, 1968, the Kerner Commission published a report that said America was becoming two societies, black and white, separate and unequal. It urged the nation to tear down racial barriers to opportunity in education, employment, housing, government, and the media. It stated, the need is not so much for government to design new programs as it is for the nation to generate new will.
It was a mandate, had the president chosen to take it and say, by God, we didn't know how serious the problem was. There is racism in this society. It is deep. And since I have said that I'm going to be the president who finishes what Lincoln started, he could have used that as a springboard for more social action. Instead, he refused even to have the commission come over and present it to him.